Episode 188 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our supporters. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/thewilderness-podcast. So I want to thank Aiden for joining our Patreon crew this week. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot. And shout out to one of our $5 tier supporters, Battle Staffs, or is it Battle Staves? Google's telling me they're both the same thing. Anywho, question for another day. And of course, every episode is dedicated to all of our $10 tier supporters: Gentinu, Spleemo, Dreadful Monkeys, Szechuan, Mallard, Twisted Soul, J Blaz, Z Space, and Strosity. Thank you guys so much for your support. But hey, if Patreon is not your thing, you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/dills. So thank you, Caradoc, 2JZ Soup, The Six, What's the Matter, and MF Hugh for keeping me caffeinated this week. All right, let's get into it. This one's all group Iron Man. Welcome to episode 187 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dills, and joining with me today is Heartless. How's it going?
Yo, what's up, Dills? I'm doing well.
What do we have to talk about this week? We got Group Iron Man that came out. So that was the big one. One of the big launches happened beginning last week, I guess it was. So Jag has made a whole event out of that. They even brought in some big streamers that don't typically play RuneScape to stream the game. So it kind of turned it into a I don't know, you want to say bigger ordeal than I would have expected it to be, but hey, whatever. But yeah, we'll get into that. How are things on your end? You were snoozing just 20 minutes ago, eh?
Yeah, I was tired. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Oh yeah, just busy in real life.
Yeah, I got a job, so I got a contract. It's not like I got a job, but the way it works is you apply for contracts and you get them throughout the year.
In the education industry.
Teacher, so it's based on your seniority because we're in a union. So right. I've only been doing it for a year and a bit. So I'm not the lowest on the totem pole because we're a big district with a lot of new teachers. But, I definitely won't get one right away in September right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait, but I did get one. It's a shorter term one, only to the end of the year but it's going to be good. It's grade 3. I've been working it for a week now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, really good group of kids. It's in a really nice, really fancy school in a nice kind of richer neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
So you get a lot of different things at those kind of schools rather than sort of the rougher ones I've worked at before.
Right. So you did grade 5 before, right?
Yeah, I was grade 4 last year.
Oh, grade 4.
So
okay.
Dropping a year. They're definitely the gap is pretty huge. They're definitely little kids.
Do you is there different skills that you need to like different methods between a grade 3 and a grade 4, or can you go at it the same, your same?
You do some things the same, but yeah, fundamentally they learn quite different things at different ages. So in the kindergarten, it's letters, sounds, very simple things like that. I
remember learning about time, the
time,
60, how long a minute was.
Yeah, you do concepts, you use shapes, really basic stuff. You learn how to socialize with with friends. Grade 1, the ropes a little bit more, the routines. So now you start to learn to string sentences together. So you have a couple sentences going. Okay, grade 2, you're fully on learning to read at this point.
Okay.
And then you start to get into stuff understanding becomes a lot more important. Most kids should know how to read by the time they're in grade 2, but they don't necessarily have the understanding of what they're reading. They can read "the boy grabbed the apple," but they don't, they need to learn how to grasp what the words mean together. So
that's no Lord of the Rings yet.
No, fuck no. So that's the next step. And then grade 3, most of them know how to read in my class unless they're behind, which there's always one or two. So it's more about bringing through the understanding, making sure they still love to read, getting them to do it often. They get to sort of read things they enjoy a little bit more than the stupid leveled books, which are always they're super boring because they're meant to teach you to read, not to be enjoyable necessarily.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually like the whole story leads up to like somebody eating like an apple or whatever.
Exactly.
Um,
Then you've got math skills, which are pretty. Those are pretty much the two foundational things. Like
grade
everyone
3, I
needs.
remember we started learning. No, grade 4 was cursive. Grade 3, I did a project on Halifax. I remember doing that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Cursive is interesting. Yeah, you start to learn about the provinces and stuff. You know, indigenous people. There's a bunch of things you learn. It's science has been like plants and animals and whatever. There's lots of things you learn, but I don't know, man. Primary is definitely different than inter. There's a huge step between 3 and 4. I've noticed. I think
Mm.
maybe just socially, like kids just seem a little bit more not aware, but they just seem quite a bit more mature, even with that 1 year gap.
3 to 4. Yeah,
They're
when
not quite
I was born
self-aware
in
in grade 3. So
I was born in 92. Grade 4. I remember 9/11 happened and we had the teacher was explaining to all of us and we're just like,
yeah,
I remember like okay, I have no idea why. She was like super serious about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm so confused.
I remember that too. I remember 9/11. That's the only thing I remember from grade 3. So we're the same age.
I was born in 92. Are you born in 93?
No, I'm 93. So I think
Okay, so
I was
you're
in grade
different.
3 though.
Yeah, I was in grade
And
4. It's a grade 3-4 split.
okay. I remember that day, but yeah, you're right. I didn't like understand it.
Yeah, and I remember the teacher was like, "Okay, we got to talk about this. Something serious happened." And then yeah,
It's
I couldn't
interesting. I
quite
have
grasp
vivid
it.
memories from like grade 5 and on. So like below that, your story is still figuring out, how the world works.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it so far. I've only been
So
doing it for like 8 days now, I think.
oh, was it a hard adjustment going
Mm,
from I guess having the no contract to boom full on contract?
No, not really. You just have to do a bit more planning.
Okay.
It's nice to know where you're going to be, but yeah, now I have like parent teacher interviews and stupid things coming up. So
Is that
yeah.
fun to do, the parent teacher interviews?
No, they suck.
Oh,
Dills, they're
yeah.
awful. You're just there from like, okay, so you work the whole day. School ends 3 o'clock, and then you have
Oh,
4 hours of parent teacher interviews.
God, you just want to like rush them, eh? Like, your kid's a little shit. It's not learning anything. Okay, we'll see you later.
It's brutal. It's a long day. That's just the only bad part. I've never had a problem meeting people or talking to people, so I'm not worried about it. It's just it's a long day. That's really all it is.
Brutal.
It's tough stuff. So that's been real life. I think that's pretty much it for real life. Nothing too. I was really sick this weekend. I didn't have coronavirus. Yeah? I got tested. And I'm vaccinated, so I was like assuming it wouldn't be that, but I was quite sick. I sounded like really bad. My voice had gone on Friday when I was teaching. I was like, man, I probably shouldn't be here. And then
that's rough. Yeah.
I was useless on the weekend. So,
Oh boy.
yeah. And then scape wise, I got the Theater of Blood pet this week.
Oh shit! I saw a picture. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. And then that's pretty much it, dude. And then when I was sick, I didn't have much time because I was working. And then when I was sick, I was like, you know what? Let's do the Inferno for some crazy reason. I thought that'd be a good idea. And I started going hard. I sent 4 attempts this weekend. Before that, I kind of like dabbled a little bit. I mentioned I made it to like wave like late 50s, early 60s. And my first time back in, I made it to Zuck, which is like the last wave, right? So I got pretty far.
How does it feel? Are you like shaky the whole time?
No, I wasn't shaky at Zuck, and I was shaky on waves. Okay, so I honestly think the late waves, like 61 to 63, that's when you get like mage range, melee, and double blobs. Like that's when things get really scary. That's when I start shaking because I'm like 2 hours into a run because I don't have a twisted bow. So things are a little bit slower for me. And I start to shake. I'm like, you can really get screwed by RNG, and I'm not the best yet at solving the waves. That's really where my weakness is. So I know that's scary for me. But I smashed triple Jads first try, which was nice.
That's sick. Nice.
Yeah, that was good. Thankfully, I practiced them on tournament worlds, so I knew what worked for me. I just turn all the game sounds off and put some music on and try to relax.
Oh, really? I find the game sounds help me concentrate a bit more, staying tuned.
Interesting.
Well, I guess it depends what the game sounds are. Some of the game sounds suck.
I found them overwhelming. I was in the tournament worlds and I failed like 15 times, and I thought like, why can't I beat these guys? And then I just was like, what? Originally, I turned sounds off for Jad, so I did it, and it was easy. So, and now I use the sounds for the waves. That's really. I usually play game sounds off though, so I think it just makes me a little bit more calm.
Yeah,
Because it's
fair
scary,
enough.
man, when they're all like flying in with the mage range flying at you. They come pretty fast. And then I got to Zuck and I didn't have many supplies, so I knew I was gonna die. So I just kind of treated it as a chill experience. And I made it to just around near the end of Jad, and then I got chipped out. So
You enjoying it? Is it a fun grind?
oh fuck, Dills, that's the question. So I think I started in September, just like dabbling. You're like, maybe this is probably the next step for my account. And I found it very hard to find motivation to go back in when I didn't understand how things were working. Like I was quite bad at the time and I didn't get everything yet. My mechanics weren't on point. So it was just frustrating, like knowing that I was gonna die at some point and I didn't feel like I was progressing. But then I don't know, something kind of clicked recently and now I'm very motivated. I've literally just done blood runes or sent Inferno attempts this week. So
Oh boy.
it's good. Hopefully it's coming soon. I mean, I made it to Zuck, so I think I just got to put the final pieces together to figure out the waves, and then I just need to get a good run and keep the nerves, and hopefully I'll have a cape soon.
Yeah, it seems like on average people get to Zuck and then they get in the next 5, at least within the next 5
Yeah.
Zuck attempts.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not as scared about Zuck. I'll also have Poplo's been helping like coach me through it and like teaching me some things. He's a very good player, so I'll have him there to help me with the timers at Zuck. So I'm not. I'll probably die a couple times there, but we'll see. We'll see.
I love that the Inferno has like coaches. I've seen a few people. I think it was Nash was doing Inferno in the Discord, and he had somebody coaching him. So they're like telling him what to do, and they're like, "Okay, don't panic, breathe, let this one go, okay, move up." And he's like walking him through the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
No joke, like it is the hardest thing I've done in this game, like by a mile. Not only like you have to have a deep understanding of the tick system, your mechanics needs to be on point for 2 hours. You can't miss a flick. I mean, you can, but then it hurts your supplies for the long run. So you really have to be perfect for the most part. And it's tough, man. Having someone to help coach you through it is good, but you really do need the mental willpower to get it. Because it's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure. Shit's incredibly hard, but I feel like it's definitely worth doing.
That's cool. That's it. It's the
It's your turn next, Dills. I'll coach you when I get it.
we're getting. I just need to get Kodai, and then I'll start sending them.
Yeah, dude, I don't have a Kodai. You can do it without one. Oh, damn, that would be nice though. Like honestly, I've never used a Twisted Bow really, so I know it's a great weapon. But a Kodai would just be so nice to not have a stack of water runes with me. We just free up an inventory spot.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna bring the Kodai in.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, if you're a main, that's like the base thing, right? Like you gotta have a few things to beat the Inferno. You gotta have the gear. That's number 1. Number 2, you gotta have the theory. Like you gotta know how the tick system works. Number 3, which is the hardest one, you need to have the mechanics. So that means like the one tick flicks, the positioning, solving the waves. That's the thing that takes the longest. And then 4, you gotta be quick to react to the waves. And your decision making needs to be quite good. So you kind of have to add all those things up together in some combination to get the cape, I think.
Huh.
And I think I'm working on step 4 right now, so it's good progress.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I probably mentioned this last podcast. I have like amnesia sometimes when it comes to recording. But I went back to listen to the Inferno release episode of this show because I was like, I wonder what my opinion was, because I was probably like level 100 back then. You know, I'm getting closer to max these days, so it's like I have a little better grasp on these things. I went back to listen to it, and it was like, I remember saying, like, questioning, like, is it okay to have content this hard in the game that doesn't and I remember like being like, that doesn't seem right. I remember I was listening to it, and this is when Deegan, my brother, was on the show, and he was like walking through the steps, and he was like explaining, like, so you get to the third last wave, And guess what spawns? Not 1 Jad, but 3 Jads. And I remember when I was listening to it, we were like, what the fuck? 3 Jads? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How can anyone do that?
That's not even the hard part. And then you get to the final boss.
Yeah.
It is outrageous. Like, when you just step back, especially if you're, like, I imagine a lot of our players, most of our listeners don't have Infernal Capes.
Most people don't.
Most people in the game don't. It just seems like something that's so far out of reach. And I thought that for the longest time. But I think it's important in games to have something like that, like as an end goal, sort of like as an all-time mechanic, sort of like tester. So you can go up against it in the late game. I mean, I've been playing this game for almost 3 years now, and it's still challenging me, which is fun. I mean, games suck if they're not hard.
It's like the carrot on the stick, right? Sometimes like the long grinds can get like, you're like, okay, I'll eventually get there. Like maxing, if you just put enough time into it, you'll get there. But something like the Inferno, where it's like, you could send it as many times. You could send it like 1,000 times and still never get it. It's all about getting better. Like you actually have to be good at the game.
It forces you to improve at the game, even when you are a good player. So it's a cool piece of content, and I'm really starting to enjoy it a lot more now. It becomes a little bit more enjoyable once you understand like what you're doing a little bit more. If you know what I mean. Like when you have the belief that you can actually complete it. But when you're like, this is fucking impossible, when you're getting like stacked out by random things, and it's like
the first time anyone does Ulm and they're like, how the hell am I supposed to beat this? There's like so much being thrown at me in Chambers of Zarek. There's so much being thrown at me. How am I supposed to beat this boss? And then
same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing, just ramped up to another level.
Yeah,
and you'll get to the point where you're like, yeah, it's not so bad. You just have to put in the time to learn it. So.
Very cool. Very cool stuff.
That's been my week. So we'll see how the weekend goes. Hopefully I can get another good. It's the time is the thing, Dills. Like working, I need like 2 solid hours to send an attempt minimum.
Yeah.
And it's hard to sort of carve out that time. So being sick this weekend was kind of nice. I had to quarantine waiting for my results. So it happened to work out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hear that's the tricky one. I'm sure if you take like a week off, you need to like warm up. Like you kind of lose a little bit of what you learned.
Yeah, maybe for sure. Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
We will find out. Oh boy. Anything else going on?
No, not really. What about you, man?
Oh man, what about me? Not a whole lot. I was like thinking earlier, when it comes to like the real life stuff, my life has gotten just so boring since the pandemic hit, because I work from home and I switched from working in construction to like working in podcasting, which is awesome, which is what I wanted to do. But man, is it just like on paper, I enjoy it, but on paper, it's boring. Like, I'm sure you have a bunch of fun stories of maybe some kid threw up in class, whatever. Some crazy stuff happens at school,
kids
right?
Throwing up in class.
What's that? No kids do that?
I told you about day one, right, where someone tried to throw a chair through a second-story window.
Oh, I don't know. This might be the amnesia, but I don't think so.
Oh, that was a classic. There's nothing like coming back from the summer off and having a kid freak out and try to throw a chair through the second-story window at your school.
Freak out about what?
I don't know. I don't even know. I walked in halfway through. I was like, this is not good. It wasn't my kid. It was some other kid in some other class. But yeah, I saw the chair fly and I saw the window vibrate. It did not break, thankfully.
Nice. I got the reinforced windows.
I just think the kid wasn't quite strong enough. So
see, in like my new career, I don't get stories like that at all. I sit here and I work off my computer, and it's pretty boring.
Do you get to interact with other people?
Like through Zoom and all that stuff. And not even that much, just like sometimes. And I'm usually annoyed when I have to interact with people because I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, they're just like, I was just like thinking like, you know what? Like I never share much about what's going on in my personal life, because like the most exciting thing that happens these days is like, you guys got me into Magic and we played a bit last week.
Jeez, did we ever?
Which, by the way, after our last episode, we had a bunch of people pop into the Discord server being like, someone said you guys are playing Magic in here. And it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's been popping off in the gaming channel. It's nice to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, that's like so like not a whole lot's going on. I guess I got the baby coming up, which is good. That's probably where things should get interesting.
When's it due?
January 11th, which is I hope it's that because that's a good birthday.
It's coming up quick, Dills. Jeez.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, we're
only
busy.
Yesterday that you announced it.
I have to move my office down to a smaller office because this office is turning into a nursery, and it's like I gotta read a lot of books. I've read a few of them, but they usually leave me with more questions. Like, how do you know how much to feed them? Right? How much? When I get dog food, it says like 2 cups, generally depending on how much they weigh. But I'm like, with a kid, how do you know if they're full or if they're not full? Oh man, it's
tough when they can't communicate, right? When they can't tell you how they're feeling.
Yeah, and I like to freeze out my bedroom. I like to open up the windows and make sure it's nice and cold. How do you know if the kid likes it cold, right? What if they don't? What if they're over there freezing to death?
I feel like they'll just cry.
Got the little window. Yeah, you think so, eh? But then it's just like I've read things where it's like you got to know about sudden infant death syndrome or something like that. Some crazy thing where all it does is like roll on its stomach and decides not to be alive anymore. That's crazy. I'm stressing out.
I don't know anything about baby stills, but yeah, I can feel the stress through you already.
No, I'm not too. I'm a little stressed now because we have so much going on when getting this nursery ready, and all that stuff. And I really don't want to move this office. I really pimped it out, but yeah, whatever. The time has come.
Have you got names for the baby yet?
We see. This is the hard one. If it was a girl, we had a bunch of girl names that we liked, like Abigail, Sophia, other ones I can't remember because it's not a girl. So we ended up just shelving them all. But so far we both like the name Remy, Remi. So that's what we both are liking right now. And we can't seem to agree on any other names. We both have our list.
Sort of go-to French name right there.
We're gonna even give it like with the little accent aigu on the the I. No, we wouldn't do that because when
don't do
people
that.
People would ask questions and I'd be like, yeah, listen, we know nothing about French. We just like we didn't even know it was a French name. We just
I told you the trend. So since I get to be a sub teacher before.
What's the cool names? What are the popular names?
I get to see all the names of kids. And okay, this is what pisses me off more than anything. I'm sure there's some listeners who have done this, you bastards. Okay, you name your kid like a regular name, okay? Like, let's just go with Mason is a pretty popular name right now, okay? Normally spelt Mason, correct?
Yep.
But you go ahead and you spell it like Maeson. It's like, why did you need to add the extra thing in there?
You make it weird.
Yeah, you make the name weird. There's just no need. And then the poor kid, for the rest of their life, their name's going to get misspelled. And that's on you. So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you want to be unique, but your kid's just going to suffer. Because their name's always going to be fucked up.
It's going to be misspelled. Yeah, that's true.
Or was another one? I can't remember. My name's Nathan. So it's spelled Nathan. So it's pretty standard spelling. There's a kid in my class last year called Nathan with an Nathin. I'm like, what the fuck? Nathan. Like, why do you need to do that?
Yeah, that looks weird. It sounds right, but looks weird.
It does. That's the trend that pisses me off. So that's a popular one. They do it for like every name too.
Yeah, no, I could see that. It's like, because that's the thing. We wanted it to be new age. We didn't want a name like Ryan, which is like a fine name, but it's like we want something that's more new. When I grew up, I knew a lot of Ryans. There's a lot of Ryans. There's a lot of Chris's, a lot of Kyles. We wanted something like different that could go with the new generation of kids. And it's hard to think of anything.
Names are totally generational, and that's just sort of the thing. What your name is Dylan, right?
Yeah. That was kind of a new agey name growing up because I don't know anyone named Dylan who's much older.
But now, not many kids named Dylan.
I got a neighbor whose name.
I bet a lot of our listeners are called like Sean and Chris.
Yeah, right.
Maybe some Johns. John's kind of a timeless one. I don't know. Nate, there's definitely a sort of like a whole thing about that. You could dive into the history of names. But then, if I see a name like Betty, how old do you think that person is?
Right. She's making bread or something, right? She's doing something like
she's 80 years old. Butter. She's churning butter. Yeah. So you definitely, their names are definitely generational.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like, when I grew up, if the missus is like, what about the name Ryan? I'm like, see, I knew a Ryan.
So I'm not having that. Yeah, I wonder. That's a good theory, Dills.
That's a lot of it. Whereas like there's like a name like Remy. I don't know anyone named Remy. I think there's a soccer player named Remy. There's an actor I like named Remy. That's about it. I pitched the name Atlas. That's a cool name. It's like I looked it up. It's the god of strength. That's
he's
cool.
The dude that held up the world.
Yeah, but then the problem is
the Atlas. Don't do that, Dills.
Yeah, think about the ego on that kid. He's gonna walk around being like, I was named after the god of strength. Hey, and here's my brother Zeus, the god of gods.
My brother Zeus. I see a lot of names. If I saw Atlas, I would have a chuckle. That's crazy.
It's pretty badass. But then like, yeah, so the lady wasn't having it. And I was thinking like that could, the kid might like start pushing me around and stuff, being like, I'm the god of strength. Who the hell are you? Might go to their head too much. Anyways, it's tough.
You're right. It has to be a name of someone you don't know. I think that's the key. I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, so that's why I think the generational thing, because it's like, Chris. Oh, I grew up with Chris,
which is, I guess, why some names would come back eventually, right? Like, oh, my grandma's named whatever Norma.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to use that one. But then eventually they'll fade and then they'll be recycled. So it makes sense. And the Bible names are pretty standard. Those don't really fade. You see those all over the place, like your Davids and your,
Jebediah.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's...
I don't see Big Jeb very often. Yeah, I don't even know what the other Bible names are. I'm losing it now. David's Jesus. The only one I can think of.
Yeah, David. That's
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Oh, names are weird.
Yeah, they sure are. But that's cool, man. I'm glad that you have some in mind.
Yeah, Remy's really secretly going to be short for Remington, just so I get my little RuneScape reference in there somewhere.
Yeah. So you're going to call it... Wait, Remington, you're going to call him Remy?
No.
Like Jimmy, but with an R?
This is where this is like the weird spelling of it, right?
Okay, Remy. Yeah, I see.
Imagine a kid named Remy. You're just setting him up.
Fucking Remy.
What'd you parents call you?
Tells you got some wild picks going on. Oh, it's good though.
All right. Anyways, yeah. So that's there. Kids' names. That's what happens in my real life. That's the exciting part of the
man. We tangent so hard, so easily.
I know, and you got to get out early today, don't you?
Yeah, but we can always do the old double recording, and people will never know when we cut it in.
Exactly.
Because our editing is flawless. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we got an editor who's top notch. Just kidding, it's all me. But anyways, RuneScape stuff. What's going on in RuneScape? Not a whole lot, really. I got 99 fire making, which was not. I mean, it's nice to get it, but it's not super exciting. I was kind of cheesed because I accidentally exchanged all my Bruma torches. I didn't mean to do that, and now I have no more Bruma torches, and now I feel like I have to go back to Wintertodt to get one.
Why?
Just in case you need it.
You can't even store it. That's the worst part about the Bruma torch.
No?
But you can use it as a tinderbox at Wintertodt instead of a tinderbox, which is nice.
Yeah, that's why I've been using it. And I don't think it'll have much other uses, but maybe the Raids 3 it'll come out, and maybe you'll need it, which then I'll be back at Wintertodt.
It's pretty.
But Wintertodt has been popping off because of Group Iron Man. The world is packed.
True.
And literally like seeing pets drop every single round. Like not
it's
even kidding.
Full,
at least
right? Like the world has like 2K people in it.
Pretty close, yeah. It's hovering around that, which is insane.
Group Iron Man's been out for like exactly a week now.
Yep, that's right.
And yeah, the world is still full. So
yeah, glad people are liking it. But yeah, with that, what else? I've been super busy, so I've just been skilling, doing a bit of Temperos to get my fishing up. I'm at 98, so working my way to 99 fishing. I'm like 80k away from 99 wood cutting, so I'll get that whenever I feel like it. So we're getting close at rounding those ones off, but still a ton to go. And I think that's it.
Nice. Did you make your Group Iron Man?
I did not. Did you?
Nope.
All right, sweet. Well, let's talk about it.
Nice. It's not qualified.
All right, so Group Iron Man is the big one. well, I guess technically last week. If you don't know, it is Iron Man mode, but you and up to 4 others can group up and do Iron Man mode together, where you could trade your items amongst your group. It's like a co-op way of playing the game mode. So neither of us have actually tried it. I have no plans to, and I know there's like tons of people in the Discord who are looking for others to fill their group up and all that stuff, but I just have no desire for it. And Heartless, probably same reason. You have your Iron Man you have going on there.
Yeah,
it's probably
it definitely looks fun though. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks like an absolute blast. I just I have an Iron Man's and I've got lots of things to do on it, so not right now, but it's something I could delve into in the future.
Yeah, it's a game mode that if you and some friends could do together, and you could have a lot of fun just ripping it. But I know myself, if I made a group Iron Man with people, I would just want to play my main, and I probably wouldn't enjoy my group Iron Man, so I'm not making one right now. But I'm watching everyone else make one.
It's about the group, I think. The group of people you do it with definitely is the most important part of group Iron Man. Or else you may as well just make a solo Iron Man if you're interested in the sort of lifestyle of it. It would be a little quicker as a group, and it'd be a lot of fun. You guys could get to do a ton of content together. So I think for like players who play a regular account right now, a non-Iron, and are looking, have a group of friends and want to get into it, it's definitely worth a try. I mean, 80,000 people made accounts.
Wow.
Like, it's no small number.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really cool.
Extremely popular, as we sort of knew it would be based on the enormous poll result. So a lot of people are giving the mode a go, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it's something that's not for everyone, but for the people who enjoy it, it's definitely for them. So they released a bit of a trailer to go along with it, a little animation on YouTube. It's like 1 minute long. It's pretty cool, definitely worth checking out, but nothing crazy. So when you go to make your group of Iron Men, what's pretty neat is you can choose a name for your group, which is then put on the leaderboards where you are competing. So, the top players, the players in the top group Iron Man team, their team name will show up on the high scores. It's one thing I don't like is that if you look at a player, you can't tell that they're in a group or what their group is called. You need to know, like, you need to ask them, like, hey, what's your group Iron Man team name? Or you have to like manually go on the website and look them up on the high scores, but it's slow as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure RuneLite will fix that one day for us.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But until then, you just have to ask them. But you can form your group on what's called the node. Do note that if you're wanting to start a group Iron Man, I think it's called, is it the Prestige? You keep your Prestige. So you keep your Prestige if nobody leaves your group or joins it afterwards. So in order to do that, your whole team needs to be on at the same time on Tutorial Island. You need to be on what's called the node, which is a section right off of Tutorial Island where you can create your group. But you all will need to be on at the same time if you really care about that prestige symbol. I'll be honest, I don't really know what the prestige symbol is. I'll look up on the wiki.
There are other things still too, like you'll lose your prestige if you do other things as well. So if you boost like Theater of Blood, so basically if you do group content without your group, so you decide to go on a raid with some other people, you're going to lose prestige status for your group. Or at least for yourself. I think you just sense it for the whole group. I think the idea is like if you're a prestige group Iron Man, that you and your group have done everything together from scratch. Mm-hmm. So if you have like a twisted bow, it means you guys got that as a group, which is kind of cool.
So it looks like the prestige might only be visible within your group. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was something that'd be visible next to your Iron Man symbol. Oh well, doesn't matter, I suppose.
It's still kind of cool. That's definitely a fun thing to do as a group. Is to like stick with other group members.
Right. Yeah. And it allows you, when you like go on Wiki to like look up a band and you can see like this band member joined in 2013, but you can see these band members have been there since the beginning. That's kind of what the prestige symbol would let you do. Is like you could join the group and see like, oh, these two people have like never grouped up with anyone else. Nice. Very cool stuff.
It matters less now, but when Group Iron Man's been out for 2 or 3 years, it'd be different. When there's like actual max Group Iron Man, it'd be a bit different. Yeah, it's whatever. I don't really care about that part.
Yeah, it's something that's very restricted within it. You can choose a regular group iron mode or the hardcore, which you will have the amount of lives depending on how many people are in your team. So you could have your team of 5, you'll have 5 lives together. So if one person dies 5 times, they'll lose lives for everyone, which is it's kind of funny for everyone else to see. We have some group Iron Man teams going off in the Discord. It's kind of fun to like see a screenshot of who lost lives to like a dark wizard or something.
Yeah, and everything is dangerous in the game. So fight caves, inferno, raids, chambers, which is not normally the case for regular hardcores. Probably how the game mode should have been from the beginning. But the only reason it wasn't was because Hardcore Iron Man was released after that content was already made, safe deaths, I think. So they just the way it was coded, it never ended up being. They just kept them safe.
Okay.
At least that's what I've heard. But I think if like let's say Hardcore was released today, I think it would obviously everything would be not a safe death.
Yeah, this seems like the way they're.
Yeah, the way it should be.
Yeah, that's the way they're kind of moving. Because like Gauntlet, you would think that should be a safe death, seeing how Chambers of Zarek is, but they're kind of going the opposite. So who knows? Maybe one day they'll change it. I know they wish they did, but they know there's gonna be a bunch of backlash, and a lot of hardcore Iron Man are gonna be dying if that's the case. So currently, that is not.
They already a lot of them die anyways because there's so much hard content in the game. But yeah, I think it's more for like the people that are really at the end, because then it would be hard to achieve what they've done again. But those people are so good that it like. Have you seen Exact? He's probably the best player to ever have played this game.
Yeah, he does.
He has a disturbing hardcore. It's a 1 defense pure with like 500 or 600 hard mode tops, which is easily the most dangerous content in the game.
God damn.
Yep. And he like trolls on it too. It's crazy. Some of the things he does.
Yeah, that's crazy. Not for the faint of heart. A cool little addition that they snuck in here was to do with the player-owned houses. So beforehand, Iron accounts were unable to have anyone enter their home. People wanted for Group Iron Man to be able to kind of share homes, or at least maybe have one person in your group like really beef out their player-owned house so that everyone could use it. But it looks like a fun little thing that came with it is Irons can now invite other people into their house, and Group Iron Man are also able to use each other's POH.
Cool.
I always thought it was strange that you couldn't, but now you can, so that's pretty sweet. Group storage. How does the group storage work? So the group will have a bank storage of 80 spaces that they can use, and then you'll have your own private storage as well. So you can keep your stuff separate, and you can drop off. I don't know. Let's say you did a bunch of fishing. You want to drop off your food for your friends, so you can drop off a big stack of food and let them have at it. Yeah, it's only 80 spaces. They sit on a Q&A that it has to do with like back-end work and engine work, and it was a big back and forth between the content team and the engine team to see where they would land. I think the content team wanted like at least over 100. The engine team wanted like 20, so then they settled on like 80. Yeah, but of course there was some issues going on just this week where for a few days you had to shut down the group banks, the group storages. I heard somebody was duping. I heard there was a duping problem happening.
Yep.
So
there's always a glitch.
Love it. And it has me wondering, because we usually get mad at Jags. How didn't you QA this properly? But as we're starting to see like Rendy videos come out and other things, you're like, it's the players that are the problem. The players are like, they will find so many ways to destroy every little mechanic.
Group storage is good. Makes me hopeful that one day we can get extra bank spaces.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm a little bit of a hoarder myself. So, and plus, as we get new weapons and new items and new raiding comes out, and new bosses, we're gonna want some more space because we're inching closer and closer.
It's just a constant battle, and I have to drop things that I don't necessarily want to drop. Sometimes it feels bad.
Yeah,
especially
I know what
early
you
on
mean.
in an Iron Man when you've got like quest items and you've got like skilling stuff that you still need. There's lots of things that you don't want to drop, or maybe you're like, I don't know if I'm actually going to use these at some point in the future.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes you just have to drop them for bank space, and it feels bad.
Yeah, and it's annoying. Like stashes are good, and they have all these like different ways, like the seed vault. But it's kind of annoying to have all your items spread all around the world of Gielinor. And it's.
I mean, you got to do something. Like back in the when I first made my Iron Man, I did maybe 20 levels at the mining guild, and I got a boatload of those unidentified fossils, or whatever they're called, which are apparently useful for buying the mining gloves. But I looked up the mining gloves, and it was like, oh, good if you're going to do amethyst mining. I was like, I'm never going to do amethyst mining. Amethyst is garbage. So I just dropped them. For bank space when I was like mid game, because I'm like, I'm never going to use these. And now it turns out I need amethyst darts at some point in the future, and I just wasted like 6 hours of my time because I needed bank space. So
yeah, that's going to get you.
Hopefully they find a workaround. I know they can't physically make it bigger, but maybe they could add like a second interface or a second bank.
Well, like I should mention
deposit box. Maybe, I don't know. There's lots of options.
Somebody on Twitter was asking Mod Ash about increasing the bank space, whether that's purchasing with gold more bank space, and he said that yes, they are planning to do stuff like that, or they're talking about that idea. But Mod Ash didn't realize the person asking on Twitter was asking about Group Iron Man, and Mod Ash was talking about just your regular private stash, saying they're thinking about finding ways to like, as a gold sink, 10 mil for an additional 10 spaces or some shit. I just made that number up. So who knows? Maybe that'll come. All right. Unique items and how to use them with your group. So you need to have one unique kill count. Oh, sorry. You need to have one kill count from whatever the boss is of the unique you want to use. So if you want to use a Grazi Rapier or some sort of other Theater of Blood weapon or armor that maybe your team members have got, you need to already have 1 KC on Theater of Blood. Same with Bandos, Armadil, Obor. If you guys are grinding out the club for whatever reason, you need the 1 KC in order to use it. Now, a non-group Iron Man thing that they've added in here is, and you'll like this, when an Iron player, if somebody hits a monster and then an Iron player goes to kill that monster, they're not going to get the loot, even with the 1 damage on there. But usually you wouldn't know until after you killed it. Now they have a little, I don't know what you want to call it. It's a circle with a cross through it to let you know that you will not receive the drop because someone else has already tagged this monster.
Yeah, about damn time.
Yeah.
You know what? Most of the time I would kill the monster anyways, Dills, because usually you kill things quickly.
Yeah.
But there were some corner cases, right? Like it's like, but if it's giant mole or something, like whatever, I'm just gonna kill it and then just stay in the world. But if it's like Vedion, then yeah, I'm gonna hop until I find a better one.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's just it says to you, don't be disappointed when you don't get the drop, which is nice to know, Then you can make the conscious choice: am I going to kill this and just stay on this world, or am I going to actually hop? Is that worth my time?
Yeah.
So I really
maybe
like
at lower
that
levels or something. The example they showed was a moss giant, so maybe somebody's low level killing moss giants.
You just may as well kill the moss giant and just kill the next one that respawns. If it's only going to take you like less than a minute, it's not really a waste of your time. But when it's a kill, like an actual end game boss that takes a long time to kill, like let's say you're grinding Callisto or something for the D pick, and you go and you hit it with your bow, and it shows up to lure it that someone's hit it or it has hit someone and reflected damage or whatever. You're like, okay, well, I'm just going to hop until I find one that hasn't been hit. Yeah, those I think it's mostly the wilderness bosses where it makes the biggest difference. Everything else is either instanced or you could just kill it so quickly it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of acts as like a nice to have, just so you
exactly.
Not to get excited no matter what drop happens.
Feels terrible when when you're like, yeah, this is gonna be the one, then you just don't get anything.
Oh my god, yeah, I bet.
Vicious.
Oh boy. All right, leaving a group. If you join a group and your friends aren't playing, or maybe you guys get into like a little bit of a fight. Oh man, could you imagine you guys get into a fight because Johnny over there isn't fishing like he said he was going to?
Timmy went on holiday and left the Dragon Warhammer in his bank.
Oh no, the only Dragon Warhammer. And you know what? He doesn't even boss. He barely bosses as it is.
Yeah, he's just using it to smith.
Oh my god!
You can't do that, but you imagine.
He just goes into the chambers of Zarek to build the bank boxes and leaves. Bastard.
Yeah.
So if that happens and you want to leave, well, that person or whoever it is could leave by returning to the node. And leaders, because every group must have a leader, can also remove members as well. But there's a grace period. So when somebody has left, they have 7 days to reconsider. They say it serves for two purposes. Firstly, it simply gives you time to change your mind, but also keeps your prestige status safe from misclicks or account hijackers. Those damn dirty hijackers. And a player who has been kicked from the group also gets a grace period of 7 days. And basically it's to let, maybe Johnny's like, okay, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. Here's the Dragon Warhammer. And you know what? He used that Dragon Warhammer to get another Dragon Warhammer. So now he has two. And they're like, oh, man, Johnny, we knew
Johnny
shouldn't have kicked you.
All along was farming shamans with his Dragon Warhammer. Melee style.
Not efficient, but he did it.
I want people like Johnny in my group.
So he can run back and open arms and everyone's happy. As long as it's within 7 days. If it's not, then everyone's screwed. All right. So if you decide to leave the group, you must pick between one of two options. You can keep your group Iron Man status, and you'll be placed in a new group where that player is the leader. The group size remains the same, and you'll keep your level, stats, quests, variables, and untradables, but all your tradable items will be deleted. So this way, Johnny can't take the Dragon Warhammer and start his own group where he brings in new players. And he's like, look at guys, we have a Dragon Warhammer already.
This is an absolute Dragon Warhammer thief.
Oh, no. The second option is you can become a regular account and you'll lose your group Iron Man status and be removed from both the group Iron Man group and the high scores altogether. And you will keep all your levels, stats, quests, and variables, untradables, and you'll keep your tradable items. So Johnny wants to real world trade that Dragon Warhammer, which he shouldn't.
Johnny's been in a bad place in his life and has to RWT the hammer.
It's been a spiral. Yeah. Oh boy.
He's going to get about $20 for it.
Yeah, he's scammed too. Oh boy.
Johnny's life is getting real dark.
He's not doing too well. All right, abdication. Am I saying that right? Abdication of the leader. Yep. Every group must have a leader, so the one who first created the group. Whether they want to quit and play another account or focus on other activities, or if they're an absent leader, they made it so that they can step down just like in clans and hand it over to someone else. But just like the other things we mentioned, there's a 7-day grace period for them to step down. Harless, you're gonna love this. This was the update you've been waiting for. Iron Man can now buy bonds on the Grand Exchange.
Nice. Go do it, guys. You go and spend your well-earned gold.
And it said, "Why is this? Oh, you can. No, wait a minute. Non-Iron Man. Okay, they have a picture here, and it is confusing. But yeah, you can buy your bonds now if you so want to.
Don't do it. It's a mistake."
And that is Group Iron Man. The release of Group Iron Man.
It's been insanely popular, hey?
It has been popular. Did you watch like the day one? What they had like?
Yeah.
What they did was I used to watch streamers more often, but then I kind of fell off. And holy shit, over the years they have became so freaking popular. It's like it's so crazy to think. I remember like 20K viewers on like a League of Legends tournament stream was like, oh, this is pretty neat, and then that would grow, and now it's just normal for a bunch of streamers to have 20K people watching them play whatever game they're playing.
Yeah, or even more. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like normal for 20K to be to be like a number that people are kind of hitting. So they invited a bunch of streamers on that don't regularly play. I should say they paid streamers to play RuneScape for 4 hours. These people don't typically play RuneScape, and it was, they would make group Ironmen together, and they would have their own private world with accelerated experience rates and accelerated rare drops, as a way to RuneScape is a super slow game early on, and if somebody is I don't know, I'll use an example. He got kicked out, but a Super Smash Brothers player. That's a really fast-paced game, and RuneScape can be a very dull game to watch if you're not used to watching something very slow-paced. So being able to have quick experience rates allowed them to kind of, work together to try some things out. So this is the lineup of people who joined. You had the team One True King, which was Mizkif, Rich Campbell, Esfond, Jay Schlatt. Team Lumbridge Moguls, which is Ludwig, Connor Eats Pants, Stans, at Tros. Probably mispronounced that one. Team Moist Critical, which was Moist Critical, Super Spicy Matt and Danny. And then they had Team Sea Dog, which was Sea Dog VA, Giguk, the Anime Man, Tectone, and Iron Mouse. If you're into watching streamers, you probably recognize some of those names. If you don't, you're gonna be like, who the hell are these people? They got paid a lot of money to play RuneScape for 4 hours. I was hearing rumors were some of these people are getting paid $20,000 to play RuneScape for 4 hours.
Oh, easily, if not more.
Yeah.
They it's easy to say I don't know these people, and why would they waste their money on this instead of fixing the servers? Well, this is a different budget. This is the what do you even call it?
Marketing, right? Probably the money that would go into Dead Man mode.
It'd be marketing.
Yeah, you guys want another Dead Man mode? Or
So you have to remember these people are, whether you know them or not, they're extremely popular. And to have RuneScape, even just if it's for a day, as one of the most popular games being streamed, even if it just gets a few people to try it, or it's probably gotten multiple thousands, in my opinion, to try it, then that's great for the game. So they're trying a new angle to try and expand the game, and I think it's a great way to do it.
And a lot of these players, these streamers don't play RuneScape, so being able to introduce this and brand recognition, right? You see RuneScape, some of these people, a lot of these people had 20,000 people watching them, yeah, so
and this isn't some shit game like Raid Shadow Legends. This is that pays anyone to promote them. This is a good game, and people might be reminded of that or be interested in trying it if it's their cup of tea. Of course, not for everyone. With the graphics, the amount of time you have to put in. It's an MMO. But certainly I imagine they made quite a lot of money through it, or at least got some fantastic exposure. So
yeah, and they're hoping it kind of snowballs. And then another thing too was Moist Critical and his team of people. I think his name's just Critical. He used to be a RuneScape
Charlie,
player. Yeah, okay. He used to be a RuneScape player, and he's pretty popular. And he was saying, I'll try to find the clip, but he was saying he was going to play RuneScape anyways. He was going to play Iron Man anyways, but he get paid for it. So he brings his friends along too. And there were some moments on there that I had seen clips of his friends being like, you know what, dude, I'm having a ton of fun. And they're all, they're talking about, yeah, this is a good game.
You'll see that there's a patch over there which will eventually do for tree runs for farming. Well, actually, you might not even need trees, to be honest.
I'm actually having a shit ton of fun right now.
Well, this is a very fun game, man. Yeah.
This is wonderful.
I know. The addiction's back for me, man.
I
can already feel it.
so down to continue this, Charlie. Please continue it with me. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm in. Matt, I'll wait for you up here. Just.
The thing is, too, which maybe this was part of the plan, maybe it wasn't. If any of these streamers get addicted for a little bit, Asmon Gold, he's this streamer that played World of Warcraft. He moved to Final Fantasy XIV, and just from him doing that and a few others, Final Fantasy XIV became the biggest MMO because of that. It's
got a huge
crazy.
Following.
It boggles my mind, but yeah. So that's kind of the little bit of a promotional thing they did, which I guess it was smart.
Certainly worth a try.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's
They'll
like
have
the new
numbers
age
to
of
tell if
marketing.
it's worth it. But like there was 80,000 group Ironman made according to their statistics. That's a ridiculous number of accounts made.
Well, Heartless, you got to wrap now. This is your hard stop. You want to say your goodbyes?
Goodbye. No, seriously though. Yeah, no, I do have to go. But yeah, no, it's been good, man. Group Ironman, what can I say? I think it's been a great project. It took too long to come out, but now that it's come out, it's been popular and rightfully so. So
yeah, people are
I'm
enjoying
stoked
it. So
for people
good
to
on
hear
them.
the numbers that they released that you're going to read to people.
Oh
So
yeah, I
think
got some
those were
numbers. I got some numbers.
fascinating.
Yeah,
And
it's
kind
gonna
of
be
kind of
fun.
funny. Some of them,
It's
anyways.
crazy.
Okay, man. Well, it's been good. I'll see everyone on the next one. Take care.
On the next one, we got some fun stuff to talk about. Thanks, Heartless.
Bye.
All right, Heartless with his fashionable leave. He had a hard stop at after an hour. So, but we're not done here. We got pretty close. I wanted to run through some numbers that Jagex released of like day one stats. These are always fun. Maud Lottie used to do them. I do not know if she's still with the team. But she used to be the data person. And you know what? On the note, when Matt K was around, this was going back years ago. Every New Year's, he would do a New Year's stream where he would go and do a year in review, and you'd go through numbers. These how many quests are. This is the most popular quest that was completed. This is the most popular stat that was trained. The average player is this level, and the average total level is whatever. And it was really cool to see. You can kind of get a cool idea. He did some really cool stats, and I always enjoyed them. He did them every year, and then he left, and we have never got one since, which is unfortunate. But what can you do? But the reason I liked seeing it was he did like, this is what the average player is. In 1 year, it was like a level 60. They had these levels and this total level, and their fire making was this. And then the next year is like the average player is level 70. And you can kind of see, oh wow, the average player base is getting they're leveling up, which is also not the best thing. That also means not as many new players are coming in, and but at the same time, it does mean that a lot of players are continuing to play. Anyways, point is, these numbers are cool. So let's run through them. This is day one of group Ironman mode. Now, when I say Ironman, I also Iron Woman. You know what? It's not very inclusive. Anyways, day one group Ironman stats. These are pretty hectic, okay? So I wasn't sure how popular it would be, but check this out. 29,000 people completed Cook's Assistant. 29,000 people on day one. On day one alone. Crazy. These are all quests right here. 11,000 players completed Sea Slug. I don't know what's so special about Sea Slug, but hey, they did it. 7,000 players completed Waterfall Quest, which also, that's membership right there. So Sea Slug. Wait, why does Sea Slug have more people than Waterfall? Hold up. This is what happens when Heartless leaves. I get confused very easily. Get very confused. Now we have to resort to the wiki. Sea Slug for fishing experience. Oh, you know what I bet people did? They probably did Sea Slug for fishing experience so that they can go do Temperos. And people aren't doing Waterfall because, well, Waterfall doesn't give you HP, so it doesn't really matter about Winter Dawn. Whatever. 11,000 did Sea Slug, 7,000 did Waterfall, 16 players did Dragon Slayer on day one. 16 players did Dragon Slayer on day one. That's crazy. You need like 20 quest points. That's somebody who rushes Dragon Slayer. 16 people did it. 4,129 players lost a total of 5,020 hardcore lives. That means there's a bunch of people who lost more than one life. And there was 6 players who lost all 5 of their group's lives on their own on day one. Oh my God. That's Johnny right there, screwing things up for the team. Oh boy, that bastard. Who we knew we shouldn't have invited Johnny. He was probably Jack's brother. And God, man, we have to bring. Why do you guys have to bring Johnny along? He really screws up everything. Pets. 101 players got the raccoon pet. Rocky, the thieving pet. 101 players on day 1. 48 players got the woodcutting pet, the beaver, and 29 players got the squirrel, the agility pet. Continuing, 17 players got the phoenix from Wintertodd. 3 players got Temperos pet, and 3 players got the heron pet. All right. Now these are animals, or I would say monsters killed. On day 1, 700. I keep saying on day 1 because it sounds more dramatic. On day 1, 770,000 chickens were killed. Almost a million. 312,000 cows were killed. 410,000 goblins were killed. Oh, the poor goblins. Skilling. All right. There was 20.1 million logs chopped of any tree. 20 million logs chopped of any tree. And there was 16.1 million fires started of any log. That is crazy. So there's the day 1 stats, which is crazy to see. Had a fairly big turnout. So I don't think I'm missing anything from Group Ironman. Trying to think back. I think we covered it all. It happened. And then streamers played it. It was very popular. I mean, everybody was playing it, which is really cool to see. There was some drama with a Super Smash Brothers player named Mango. He's like really good Super Smash Brothers. Because there's a new game that came out. I've seen Deegan play this called Nickelodeon Brawl or something like that, which is like Super Smash Brothers, but it's Nickelodeon characters. That came out and he was playing it and he made some comments being like, I gotta play this stupid Runestone game. And he said it in like a complainy tone and that got really blown up and a lot of people didn't like that. And he lost his sponsorship. Now he says he turned it down, but if I were to assume, I would say Jagex maybe pulled it. Maybe that was like a breach of contract or some jazz. And then he got replaced by one of Critical's stuff. But it's man, it blows my mind. The whole streamer thing blows my mind because I've been watching Twitch for a little bit now. I've been watching RuneScape streams for a while. I remember when RuneScape was first starting out, old school RuneScape, the popular streams, and it was actually a problem, but it was like that's all you would see was called commission staking. Anyone remember this? Where you would go and you'd see a streamer who was staking, you would give him 1 mil, he would keep 10% of the winnings, and he'd go stake for you. And Deegan used to do this, and he would actually make some money off of it. But it became such a problem because people, one, were making money off staking, right? If you're staking someone else's money, it's kind of a win-win for you. If you lose, you don't lose your money. If you win, well, you win. You win 10% too. You get to keep it. It was never your money in the first place. And eventually Jagex had to straight up ban those. Now you don't see them as much anymore. But oh wow, it's crazy. I gotta start streaming again. That's the takeaway. Gotta start streaming again. All right, guys, that was that. There's Group Ironman mode. Let me know if you're playing it, how you're enjoying it. I know there's a bunch of people in the Discord server playing it. I know a lot of you people listening who might not be in the Discord server, but I'm always curious to hear other people's takes on it. Right? I know it's kind of a weird game mode where it's like if you're not playing it, you don't really care. Maybe you enjoy watching content creators. Maybe you don't. In which case, you don't care at all. People who are playing it maybe do enjoy it. I've seen some issues on the subreddit of people joining a group with like random players. Like you go on to like the RuneScape official Discord server and you're like, I'm looking for a group of 4 other people to play. And then you join it. Like I've seen people having issues with that because somebody's losing all their lives. Johnny is losing all their lives. That just seems crazy. Don't pug your Group Ironman mode unless you want the chaoticness of it all. Okay, guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we will wrap up this show. So this is the segment where we talk about how you can support the show and if there's anything going on in the markets, we'll talk about it too. So first things first, Group Ironman came. We mentioned that Critical started playing again. And if you don't know, he has a YouTube video promoting his basically collection of monkey nuts, calling himself the quote-unquote monkey nut king. a little bit of a meme, but his supporters or his audience took that and ran. And it's funny, anytime he starts playing the game, the price of monkey nuts shoots up as people decide to pour all of their money into monkey nuts to donate to him. So it looks like that you normally trade for around like under 100 gold, but when Group Iron Man was released, it was I saw people buying them for 1,000 gold each, so it went up 10 times. That's a crazy merch. You know what you do? You like the day it was released, so normally there's like a couple thousand that are traded. I'm looking, I see, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. The day of Group Iron Man was released, almost 100,000. Wait a minute. Over 650,000 were traded. Holy crap, that's a lot. So if you want to try a really lucrative strategy, you put some money in for some monkey nuts and you just wait for him to start playing the game again. It's very risky. I do not recommend it. I repeat, I do not recommend doing that. But if you do, it's a high risk, high reward. But hey, let's get to the meat of this section, which is talking about how you can support the show if you would like. So if you're wanting a little bit more Wilderness Podcast content to supplement your regular episodes, head over to patreon.com/TheWildernessPodcast. We have a few different tiers that you could pledge each month. And we do the weekly Q&A live stream. And not to be confused, I'm not actually on the Jagex Q&A with the JMods. But we watch it together with a little bit of commentary, some pre-show, some post-show, and then it's uploaded almost immediately after as an audio format. So you might like that. If that's something you want, well, it's available every single week. We also started doing a day one first impressions of major content. And every now and then we do bonus episodes, whether it's OSRS Rambles or just something else. Life has been pretty busy recently, so I have not had too much time for the OSRS Rambles, but I'm really hoping to be able to have those pumped out more consistently in the months to come. So I want to welcome Aiden to the Patreon crew this week. Thank you so much for your support. And of course, this episode was dedicated to Mr. Battlestaffs and all of our top tier head of the Mafia ring, RuneScape Mafia ring. Can you get any more badass than that? Running the Mafia ring within RuneScape. It's hectic. Gentanu, Splemo, Dreadful Monkey, Szechuan, Mallard, Twisted Soul, J Blaz, Z-Space, and Strosity. Thank you guys so much for your support. I truly, truly do appreciate it. And you allow the possibility of all these fun events that we do and even more. So I appreciate you guys a ton. But if you're thinking, hey, you still want to support the show, but yeah, don't want to sign up through Patreon, maybe you just like have a grudge, maybe Patreon screwed you over in the past, well, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/dills instead, where you can buy me a coffee instead. So thank you so much to Caradoc for buying me a coffee, to JZ Soup, who said, keep up the old potty, keeps me going through my Fridays, which is awesome to hear. When I was working in construction, I listened to podcasts for like 8 hours a day, and it did help a lot. So just knowing it helps even just the slightest bit through your commute or your work day means a lot. Funny enough, now that I work in podcasting, which I owe all to this show and you guys, I don't have as much time to listen to podcasts anymore. And I guess I just don't have the desire to, which really sucks. I used to listen to so many shows regularly, and that is just getting cut back. It's funny how that works. Anywho, should have saw that one coming. So yeah, thank you so much to JZ Soup and MF Hughes says thanks, Dills and Heartless, all the others who make this show possible. Love hearing you guys talk about my all-time favorite game since 2005. God bless. It is definitely my all-time favorite game as well. It's always funny when I'm talking to someone who's like, I'm a gamer. We had I definitely mentioned this, but like every now and then, you'll bump into someone outside of RuneScape or at work or wherever it is, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm big into gaming," and I'll be like, "Me too." And they're like, "No way, what game do you play? What's your favorite game?" And I'm like, "Have you ever heard of a game called RuneScape that you and myself may have? Well, I did for sure. You may have also played it in the library when you were like 10 years old." And they're just like, "Seriously?" I don't call myself a gamer anymore. Those days are over because I'm a RuneScaper. Are you a gamer? Nah, bro, I'm a RuneScaper. That sounds much lamer, but you don't have to like have that whole weird conversation of like, yeah, I don't play modern games. I don't really play multiple games either. I play one game. And of course, thank you to the Six and What's the Matter for also providing me with some coffee this week. You guys rock. All right, let's get back into the rest of the episode. All right, guys, we are back. Well, I guess we're all back collectively. It's still me here. Heartless still hasn't returned. I'm still waiting. Anyways, so yeah, guys, thanks so much for listening. We got another episode that's going to be coming out very soon because we got a lot to talk about, and we did not want to jam. Heartless was short in time, so we're like, let's just talk about Group Iron Man mode, and then we'll do another episode. We'll talk about the other ones. We got some big stuff coming down the pipeline. At least Jagex does. But on a side note, we are holding a event at the end of the month from the 22nd to the 29th. Signups are now available called the Wild Achievement Diaries. And this is an event done in partners, done in pairs of 2. And you can join with your friend. You can join by yourself. In which case you'll be randomly paired with another solo player. All right. So there's a 1 mil entry, and the way it works is there'll be a bunch of different achievements ranging from easy all the way to Grandmaster, and you will need to complete them. There'll be some criteria, which will be like, I don't know, complete Winter Todd in 5 minutes, and then you need to get a screenshot, and this is how you can get the Winter Todd's a bad example, but I'm just using that because it's all got to be a secret. Okay, here is an actual one. Complete Winter Todd in under this amount of time. So, you'll have to take a screenshot, send it in, and then we have a team of people who will review it, and if it looks like it's not been faked, or if it looks like it's just meeting all the criteria, you will earn that point. Otherwise, it will get declined, and you will need to do it again. For the most part, I don't think there'd be any problems, but you never know, right? So there's going to be a lot of different ones there. There's going to be stuff like, I don't know, it's broken up into skilling, PVM, PvP, and what I'm calling like social tasks. So like one might be, I don't know, have some random person lure you into the wilderness. That's a bad example. None of them will actually ever put you in like danger, but one of them is like, follow a random player from Ardone to Catherberry, and you must have the friends chat open or the clan chat open to show that this person is in fact not just one of your friends doing it. So like random stuff like that. It's supposed to be fun. Right now, the pot is sitting around 60, 70 mil. And as people sign up, it costs 1 mil to entry. All of that goes straight into the pot. And it should be fun. And if you do hang out in Discord or if you do hang out in the clan, you'll be rewarded with a badge to show it off. Otherwise, you'll be rewarded with just the gold. So October 22nd to the 29th for that. Make sure you get your signups before the 20th of October. So I will add that link in the show notes of this episode on where you can fill it out. And it'll be on Twitter as well. All right. So if you want to hang out with us in game, you can do that at Wild CC or join our clan Wild. We do a lot of skillings of the week where you can usually win bonds and you can win cool ranks. And we do a lot of fun events throughout the year as well. Heartless does a lot of work to put on bingo, which is a fantastic turnout every year or every 3 months, I think it is. So that's planned in the new year as well. We do little PvP tournaments. We have a whole lot of stuff planned, and it's fun. If you're not currently in a clan, I definitely recommend joining one. It doesn't have to be Clan Wild. It could be any clan, but you'll have a much more fun time, even if you're just kind of a lurker. It's nice to be a part of a little community. If you want to join Discord, the link is also in the show notes here, the description. You can also find it on Twitter, which is at TheWildernessRS. If you would like to email us and ask us a question or tell us a story, tell us what you think of Group Iron Mode, you can do that at TheWildernessPodcast@gmail.com. And my Twitch, guys, I'm quitting to become a full-time streamer now because that seems like a pretty sweet life. Twitch.tv/thedills. I'm just kidding. I stream every now and then, and the last time I streamed, I'm pretty sure I lost 60 mil to the Fasani's Nightmare. So if you enjoy that sort of content, maybe follow me on Twitch and whatever. We can hang out whenever I do stream, whenever that happens next. Guys, this is a first. I haven't done this yet, but yeah, it just kind of occurred to me when I was looking through our reviews. If you listen to us on Apple, please give us a review. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. Give us an honest review. It helps the show get some recognition, and I enjoy getting an email telling me the reviews. Sometimes we get really funny ones. Guys, yeah, you can go on Apple Podcasts and rate us whatever you think we deserve, and we greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it helps helps the show get some visibility. If anyone else is looking for RuneScape podcasts, boom, boom, boom. And that is it. It is the song of the week. I have no one here to request anything, so we're gonna jump in and we're gonna Google. Is the node Narnode's theme from the Grand Tree Mine? Okay, let's do that. And it says this song is unlocked in the cave under the Grand Tree. There's a song that was updated in March 2007. Interesting, but the song came out in 2004. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you soon for all the other fun stuff that's been cooking in the game. All right, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. Toodles.